Mr. Aidan Burley.
Speaker, I'm delighted that we're having this debate because it really is the only opportunity that any of us are going to have for change in this Parliament. So it is important how people vote for day. And I welcome the spirit of this debate, which has been exemplified in the member for East Yorkshire, who said quite rightly that every MP has a different way of working, and I'm sure all of us will come up with a slightly different arrangement. So there is no right answer to the debate we're having today. But, Mr. Speaker, I come from a very simple perspective this afternoon, which is I am a new MP. I have been in this place for just 2 years, and I'm 33 years old. I have not become institutionalised yet, although I fear that every day I become a little bit more institutionalised. And I hear these comments from older MPs about a gilded cage and so on. And it's interesting because you start to sit as you do until 10 o'clock at night, wondering whether waiting for the 10 o'clock vote, sitting, eating or drinking, is that work or is that not work? Because it's not really work as our constituents would understand it, but equally you can't leave, so it's not private time. And you start to get into this idea that it's this lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle we choose, and it's just a very, very bizarre way of working. And as someone who still remembers working in the private sector, I just want to bring that perspective of what it's like back in the real world to this debate very briefly tonight. Before I came into this... I'll give way.
Very grateful to my humble friend for giving way. Is the key point that he's making is that our constituents want to know that the time we're spending here is as productive as it could possibly be?
I couldn't put it better myself. I just want to give one example. Before I came into this play, one of the reasons we start so late on a Monday that's been given is because people need to commute down. Okay, I remember I worked in Newcastle on a project up there when I was living in London. And we were expected to be at our desk in Newcastle at 9 a.m. We got a 7 a.m. flight from Heathrow, and we arrived in Newcastle at 10 past 8, and we were at our desk by 8:45, often earlier than lots of local people arrived. And I looked on the BBC website at an article today entitled "The MP with the longest commute," who, as some of you may know, is the MP for Orkney and Shetland, who commutes 1,400 miles each week. His 730-mile trip each way is astonishing. 2 flights, 3 trains and 2 tubes. He still gets here for 12:30. So even he can arrive for 12:30. So even accounting for the longest commute of any MP, we don't need to start at 2:30 on a Monday. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, people have said that we need to allow for select committees, so therefore we need to start at 2:30 on a Monday and 2:30 on a Tuesday. Well, as already been said, select committees also happen on a Wednesday when the House is sitting. They happen on Tuesday afternoons. And it cannot be the case that we have to say that every single member has to be able to attend every single minute of every debate. People choose to be on select committees, choose to do other things, choose to be on trips, that's fine, but we have to accommodate that into normal, productive working hours, which are at the beginning of the day at 9:30 onwards, and not till 10 o'clock at night. I give way.
But if we had, I'm grateful you've got to remember, if we end up with select committees on Tuesday afternoons or Wednesday afternoons, members will have to choose between select committee duties or their core function. And our core function is legislators.
I agree, and they're already doing that, and that is my point. They're already choosing because select committees already clash with the working hours of this House. I'm conscious of time, so I just want to make just a couple more points. Some of the points that have been mentioned in the debate today. We have a problem, Mr. Speaker, which I know you take a personal interest in, which is the late-night boozing, alcoholic culture of this place. That is something that is made worse by us having to wait around till 10 o'clock to vote. I can't hear what they're saying. We have heard that it is anti-family. Just because your family, and at lunchtimes I hear, it is anti-family having to stay here till 10 o'clock at night, because even if your family is 150 miles away, you can talk to them on the phone, you can Skype them, you could drive up to visit, they could drive down to visit you. You can do other things in the evenings. We see how few women MPs there are in this place, and just reflect for a minute how many women, especially with young children, look at the working hours of this place and think, yes, that is something I aspire to. I want to work those hours. I want to work till 11 o'clock at night away from my family. We see, frankly, there isn't a very good mix of society. There aren't very many normal people in this place. And again, if we want more normal people with lives, then we have to. Two final points. People have talked about tours. This place is closed for 20 weeks of the year. Surely our constituents can go on tours in 20 weeks of this place. And to pick up what the member for Walsall North said, I know he has a understandably traditional view of this job, that we are here to be legislators and we represent our constituencies in Westminster, not Westminster, in our constituencies. I have to say to him, as a new MP next to his patch on a very marginal seat, that is not the reality today. As a new MP in a marginal seat, I'm expected to run jobs fairs, to run business awards evenings, to do many surgeries, to go to every fete opening, schools, the lot. The job has changed, and it is an old-fashioned view to say that our job is to be down here legislating. It is to be in our constituencies as well. Mr. Speaker, I will just conclude with a thing on the September sittings, and I asked the government in their wrap-up whether they have considered the cost of September sittings, because as we heard from the Honourable Gentleman's Committee, the cost of just sending the builders home for 2 weeks, just the builders on the estate, is £1.5 million because they can't carry on their work. You've then got all the costs of MPs commuting down here, the cost of all the staff and so on. Is it really the best use of taxpayers' money to spend up to £10 million to keep this place open for 2 weeks? Many of our constituents would question that as well.